I'm Pat Neal. I'm a builder in Sarasota, Florida. I've been building there 47 years, Marva. I believe I'm an official Florida taxpayer. I counted with my fingers about how much our company pays in state and local taxes. And we think our small business, 47 years in Sarasota, Manatee, Florida, pays about, including impact assessments, about $75 or $80 million a year to the people of this state, the people of Manatee, Sarasota, Lee, Collier, and Hillsborough County, and not including our contributions to Uncle Sam. What's the point of all that? The point is that this is the annual taxpayers' dinner, the only function that I know of held in this state for the purpose of honoring the 21 million people who have an investment in what we do and what we do institutionally and what our state government does in providing services for people of our state.
If there were a tax watch in any of those high tax states, they would wonder why for decades they allowed their elected officials to put layer upon layer of regulation and add dollar after dollar by the hundreds, by the thousands on fees and tax rates and anything that moved that created such a non-competitive environment. And they would marvel at the fact that Florida is so large and so diverse and yet runs its government in such a lean way. The budget of the state of Florida, as I'm sure you've heard, it ought to be etched in stone in front of the headquarters of Tax Watch. The budget of the state of Florida is half the size of New York's, despite having substantially the same population. That takes a sustained commitment. That's not one election, one person. That is a sustained commitment and sustained scrutiny by an organization like Florida Tax Watch to make sure that stays the case.
So Florida is ranked #1 for fiscal health in the nation. Governor Scott, in his last 7 years, has paid down $9 billion worth of state debt. That's the first time any state debt's been paid down in over 20 years. Governor Martinez was the last one to do it. It's something, I get chills when I think about it. You know, that you make a difference in the bottom line of the state. That also contributes to our AAA bond rating, which for 99.9% of everyone in the room understands what that means. That's a good credit rating. And as we have a good credit rating, when we go to market and when we expand those roads, where's Ananth? I know Ananth's in here somewhere. When Ananth was fighting over at DOT for new right-of-way projects, it made the ability for us to buy money to give him the money he needed to do his job at a cheaper rate. At the end of the day, better for the taxpayers. So since 2010, you've created, not me, 1.4 new million private sector jobs, and our growth rate being at 2.5%. But again,
Well, thank you guys so much for having me here, and it's great to be with Tax Watch and just appreciate the legacy that you guys have, doing many things for our state that brings us to the success that we are as a state compared to our peers, including the 60% requirement for our constitutional amendments, helping us prevent us from becoming like California, where we do government by referenda, as well as pension reform and many other very, very important things. But I do promise you this, is that we will not shy away this year and in the coming years from doing things that people say cannot be done, from doing things that people say should not be done if we believe it's good public policy and it's good for Floridians. And if it will generate greater growth and opportunity for Floridians, then we're going to take it on, no matter what the cost politically. And I promise you that.
Well, Dominic, I want to thank Tax Watch for what I believe tonight has been a very encouraging evening. The Florida taxpayer has a champion in Tax Watch. And you've heard it consistently tonight that Tax Watch has been a voice in Tallahassee for a number of years and has contributed to the culture that surrounds budget writing in the Capitol. I know from my time as House Appropriations Chair that many are the wants and few are the resources. And to their credit, each and every group that comes to town asking for funding will put a compelling face to their appropriation request. But several years ago, TaxWatch started doing what no one had done before, and that was putting faces on the tax revenues that we spend. You started making the legislature think about the forgotten man and the forgotten woman. It's to them that this evening is dedicated. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank each of you for being here this evening, because by you attending this event tonight, you are honoring that forgotten man and that forgotten woman.
And so for me, I am super thankful to the folks who have come before. I'm super thankful to the organization like TaxWatch, who now has a chairman who for the last almost half century has signed the front of a paycheck. That's different than a lot of folks we work with and interact with. And it makes a difference. And so one of the things Senator Neal and I have worked on together was a government accountability task force in which we and others came up with ideas about reforming state government health plan. I'm proud to say that last year we finally passed that initiative. So when you got to schedule a mammogram or a colonoscopy, or you got to get blood work or something that you can make an appointment for and shop around, if you find it cheaper than we would have normally paid, you get half of that money back. We passed that last year. These are taxpayer saving initiatives, and that's because we're having initiatives led by folks who know what it's like to sign the front of a paycheck. And so I want to say thank you again to TaxWatch for what you do, the sponsors for tonight. This dinner is great every year, always surrounded by friends.